Hi guys, how's it going? Caitlin here and welcome to my kitchen for another week of meal prep. This is really a love yourself later activity because you're going to love yourself when you have 3 meals ready to go, less stress throughout the week. But right now we're just going to get her done, okay? This week's menu, we have cool and crunchy chicken tacos, slow cooker curry, and sweet chili pizza to finish off the week. So lots of good ones there. I do have 3 varying levels of prep depending on your time and your motivation level. If you do want to get the time to table results that you see in the meal plan, then you're going to want to go all the way with me to level 3, okay? So let's just jump right in there and get started. We're going to shred a couple cups of lettuce. If you want to have a side salad or anything like that throughout the week, maybe you just want to shred. Maybe you just want to shred the whole thing. So that's where I'm going with it. We're just going to shred this whole thing of romaine lettuce. I like shredding romaine all at the same time, and I'll tell you it's because then I get the dark leafy stuff plus the lighter stuff all together without having to think an awful lot about it. So that's why I like doing it. And then it's way easier for me to decide that I want to have, say, a side salad or something like that if my lettuce is already all chopped up for me, right? Just tripping over toys here, mom life. If you're not tripping over toys in your kitchen, clearly it was not like of them. Okay, so that's nice and easy. Lettuce all nicely chopped up, ready for some. I love having lettuce chopped up just for quick and easy, like lunch, right? Or a side dish to go with a meal. Like it's just an easy thing to have, and good for you. So why not? Now you could buy lettuce that is already chopped up. Totally doable. But really, it doesn't take an awful lot of time, right? Tripping over toys again. I can see that be a recurring theme. Okay. So I'm gonna zest up some limes. I'm using a cup zester to do this. If you've never heard of this cool little gadget before, you can zest in any direction, which is lovely. Dang, that smells good. I think that has to be one of my favorite things to smell in the whole world is lime zest. I think it smells a million times better than lemon zest even. So the cup zester, it collects all the zest in at the bottom, and then it'll actually measure it for you at the same time. So poor lime looks so beaten up right now. So you can do like windshield wiper thingamajiggy on it. So just about a teaspoon. I'm gonna do some more. Smelling that beautiful freshness that's coming with this week already, and with the weather being what it is, oh my goodness, like just having kind of the cool flavors. But I have a hard time putting my slow cooker away just because I still want to be able to have those quick, easy meals sometimes, and a slow cooker just does them so good. And for me, curry works fantastic even if it's warm weather. Okay, I think that's looking That's looking like we have a good amount. Good amount of zest, I think. Okay, gonna get some veggies prepped for our curry. I'm hiding a lot of veggies in the curry, and that's because I'm feeding it to children. If you can be outright honest about your veggies, you don't have to hide all of them in the sauce. I'm hiding a lot in the sauce, and it's because in that way I can convince my kids to eat it. But you find your perfect blend. I think the curry is a great place to use up some extra veggies this week. If you have some extra stuff in your crisper and you need to use it up, you can certainly throw it in. If you don't want your veggies to be too hard, you can kind of throw them in the last 30 minutes of cooking. And that way they'll be cooked, they'll be nice, they'll be hot and incorporated, but they won't be like straight up like mushy. If you still want to have a bit of a crunch, that's your trick. Put them in like 30 minutes before. But you can prepare those right now as well. And I do recommend really looking, like being thoughtful about what you're prepping right now. Because part of the magic of meal planning is you know what you're going to be having. And if you choose to, that gives you like the advantage of being able to look ahead and be like, okay, I know I have to use this up. How can I use it? Or what have you, right? So 3 cloves of garlic. I'm gonna grab some ginger. Okay, so I want about a tablespoon of ginger. I'm gonna say you can really measure that with your heart. If you want to zest it out and fully measure it, you can certainly do that. If you'd rather just take off a chunk and ish it, do that. The trick is really do what works best for you. You can find shortcuts around many of these things. Speaking of shortcuts, I just realized I skipped one. I can't have that. So I'm gonna get right on that. Squirrel. After I peeled that, it didn't look like quite enough ginger. It's like, would you be a tablespoon? Would you not be a tablespoon? I don't know. I need another sliver just to be sure. Okay, so I'm gonna do something that is in level 3. I'm gonna start doing a couple of the things that are in level 3, because level 3 is stuff that does itself while you're doing other things, and that's how you're gonna gain your time back, okay? And that's part of the magic and wonder that is meal planning, is just being able to gain that time back. So I'm gonna cook some chicken breasts. I'm gonna cook them in my pressure cooker because I'm just gonna be like shredding these up. Not doing nothing fancy with them. Okay, so I've got 4 chicken breasts in there. Salt them a little, because you can never go wrong with salt. There we go. So I get the chicken going. I'm also gonna get my rice going, okay? You don't have to make rice in advance. If making rice in advance is not really your thing, maybe you want a fresh day of, and I mean, it's not like it's something that takes a lot of time or a lot of effort. And you can put in however much rice it is that you are going to want to use. So and yeah, I think it's good. Get some water here. There we go. So I'm doing mine in the microwave. You can do it on the stove top. There we go. Now things are getting done while we're doing other things. Okay, back to chopping up the veggies, shall we? So we're going to chop up a whole bunch of veggies to go in our thingamajiggy. We got the ginger in there. I'm going to throw some cauliflower in there. And guys, I'm using frozen cauliflower. And why? Because the time of year that it is, it's cheaper for me to do frozen. And that's fine. If you want to do fresh, you can certainly do fresh. And if you're doing fresh, then you can process your whole cauliflower and you can either use it in other things this week as a side dish, whatever, or you can freeze the rest of it so that you have frozen cauliflower for another day, right? Okay. First round. Because you know there's going to be a couple rounds. Because I'm using, it's a electric twist and chop is what I'm using, and I like it because it is quite powerful. It is small and it is mighty, so it doesn't take up a lot of kitchen real estate. It goes in the dishwasher, and the way that it works so good is that the blade moves up and down while it's going, and it doesn't sound like it would make the biggest change in the world, and it's like literally life-changing. Okay, so what else are we going to put in? The rest of our cup of cauliflower. I'm going to put in a zucchini. Zucchini and cauliflower, there's just some of those veggies that you can hide in like anything. They are just like the chameleons of the vegetable world. Okay, I think that's good for this round. Oftentimes with the food processor, it'll over process at the bottom and under process at the top. This just all processes. If I don't want it to completely eviscerate it, then I do have to put it on the pulse. This, I'm meaning for it to hide. I want it to hide, so I'm just letting it do its pulverizing thing. There we go. Now, what else are we gonna put in here? Carrot. Also, half cup of butternut squash. Once again, I just went frozen. I would have been paying a fortune for it this time of year. There's actually some research that's been done for frozen veggies, and if you're buying out of season, not even just for cost difference, but for nutritional purposes, like these companies who are freezing the vegetables, they're processing their vegetables like fresh, as soon as they're pretty well good to go. And you end up retaining more of the nutrients that way. So if you are feeling bad about not getting fresh veggies when it's out of season, don't. Because those veggies have had to travel a long ways and they have lost some of their nutrients during the journey. But there's no shame in a vegetable game. If you are getting vegetables in, like, into your meals, you're doing good things for you and your family, and just, you're doing all the good things. The carrot is one of those things, if you didn't want to have it hidden in there and you wanted to just have it sliced and add it in, you certainly can. If you wanted to do up another carrot so your curry has a little more bulk, you can do that as well. And if you're chopping all of your veggies by hand here, you are a trooper. But I mean, you most certainly could. In the slow cooker, a lot of the stuff's gonna your veggies are gonna turn to mush. Doesn't sound very nice, but they're really gonna kind of turn to mush throughout the cooking process, and that's how they're incorporated into your curry sauce, right? Just hiding as many veggies as we can in there, packing her in. What the kids don't know will benefit them someday. There. Now tell me that's not a lovely amount of vegetables to be sneaking in to a curry, in addition to beans that you're gonna have as well. Which brings us to our next step. Slicing up some beans. And actually, I'm looking, these beans that I got, they're actually already trimmed. So if your beans are already trimmed, apparently I bought the bougie beans today. If your beans are already trimmed, well then that one's done. Okay, we're gonna slice up. Now with this, you can either slice up a quarter of a red onion or one shallot. If you are doubling your pizza, you might want to cut up more of the red onion. If you've never used shallot before, these used to be like, when I was just cooking for one, These were my favorite things to have. They're still one of my favorite things to have for salad because I find they don't have quite as harsh a flavor as you would get from raw onion. So they're great in a raw salad. I used to say it was like if onion and garlic had a baby, they would be a shallot. I still don't say that's completely wrong. Seems a little valid to me. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this up. Now, if you want to cut up the whole thing, you can use this in salads throughout the week. Maybe if you make like breakfast scrambles or something like that. In fact, I think I'm just gonna cut up the rest of this. I think that's the weirdest looking shallot I've ever seen in my entire life. Okay. Some shallot ready to go there. Guys, if that's all the gas you got in the tank, you did wicked. You did awesome. You completed level 1 for prep. You did awesome. You're gonna feel so good about yourself this week when you have those things already done. If you're still with me, let's go, shall we? So, level 2, here we come. I'm gonna juice some limes. And they smell so good. Now I have to decide, do I like the smell of zesting or the smell of juicing them better? Like, the decisions, they're just not fair. Okay. Limes are juiced, ready to do all of the things with it that we want to do with it. So next we're going to get some of the sauce ready to go. Okay, so gonna get the sauce ready to go for the tacos. These are gonna be delicious. If you want to make extra sauce, you are not making a poor life choice. You are making a very wise life choice. Okay, I'm gonna use a teaspoon of lime zest. Whether your teaspoon of lime zest is packed or not packed, that's a decision only you can make, okay? And the only decision that's right is the one that is right for you. Gonna throw in a tablespoon of lime juice. Half cup of mayo. For any of my primal friends out there, just setting myself a 10-minute timer so I remember when to fluff that. Any of my primal friends out there, if you are looking for a good avocado oil mayonnaise, this one right here, Chosen Foods, you can get this one at Costco, and it is actually very, very affordable at Costco. So if you are paleo, or maybe you're just trying to avoid seed oils, because there's quite the trend going on for that right now, even outside of the paleo community, there's a lot of people who are trying to avoid seed oils. You can do that with this. And you can either get it on Amazon, you can get it maybe at your local grocery store. The two mayos I know that are both made with avocado oil are this one, and then there is Primal Kitchen. I love Primal Kitchen for so many things, and their mayo is, honestly, the mayo is delicious. However, Chosen Foods, it's just a little cheaper, a little kinder to my wallet for this particular thing. And I'm always trying to ride that line. You know, it's a very thin line between the trying to make the good choices, but also trying to make the choices that work for your budget. And you know what, we're never gonna be able to do it all perfectly, right? Like we try our best, we do our best, but we're never going to be able to do it all. Okay, let's get some couple teaspoons of cumin, which, I mean, it smells like man sweat, but it tastes really good. Some cayenne in there, get a little heat. I know my kids are not sauce people, so I know they're not gonna eat this sauce. If your kids are gonna eat this sauce, then maybe you'll want to hold off on the cayenne. Maybe not. Maybe your kids are into it. My oldest, he used to be, when he was a baby, like, spicier the better. But then he grew up, and then they become a little more choosy. There's the sauce. Some of this is going to be mixed with the chicken. I'm going to do that day of, and I'll tell you why. Is because this chicken, as much as I'm going to dice it up now before I pack it up to save myself that time and effort, it's going to be really hot. I don't want to mix the hot chicken with the cold mayo until a little later. So that's just going to be ready so that I can mix it together day of, and I'll probably take out some for my kids before I mix it all together, because like I said, they're not going to be into the sauce. They will be into just some chopped up chicken, so we'll go for it. Okay, so we need some pear and a mango. You know what? I think I'm just going to put it all back in my twist and chop, so I'm just going to give this a rinse. did I need to do the rinse for it? Like, it wouldn't have been end of the world if it had little bits of, you know, carrot and stuff in it, but whatever, I did what I did and I'm going with it. Okay. So this is for our cool and crunchy chicken tacos as well. It does call for jicama. Is it jicama? Is that what it's called? I don't know. I'm Canadian. I've never heard of this thing. I've never heard of it being around. I don't know what it is. I don't even know how to say it, obviously. So I had Googled what to use if you don't have jicama. And it told me pear, so I had tried it the first time with pear, and it's delicious. So if you also can't find, I'm gonna put this aside because I'm just gonna like chew on that. Kind of, it's gonna be a little nasty looking to anybody who could see it. So I'm gonna spare you that, but I'm gonna devour every little bit that's left on that because, you know, it's mango. It's delicious. Okay. Yeah, but if you don't know what jicama is, grab yourself a pear. Whether it's meant to be in the recipe or not, it will be delicious and you'll love it. And if you know what a jicama is, let me know if I'm missing out. Because I just don't know. Okay, gonna get myself some cilantro. If you want to, you can feel free to use the stems of the cilantro. There's nothing wrong with using the stems of the cilantro. The texture can be a little off-putting for people, and that's it. That's the only reason that we don't use the stem. The stem actually has more flavor than you get from the leaves as well, so cilantro enthusiasts will often use the stem as well, and texture can be what it is. I mean, you're not eating a garnish, right? Like, and if you want to incorporate a little bit of stem, if some of the stem comes off while I'm picking the leaves, especially in the top parts, I'm like, meh, good enough. That stem was supposed to be in there because I'm not going to beat myself up for having some stem in. Like there. Nice chunk of stem in there. Just adding the flavor, making it bold. So, cilantro fans, you can put in as much as you want. It calls for half a cup, but this half a cup, is it squished? Is it light? Is it like squished down a little bit? You're the one who decides that. This is the thing with like anything that's a fresh veggie that, you know, or herbs or whatever, it is really a choose your own adventure. So I encourage you to do that here and just choose yours. I love cilantro, so my half cup of cilantro, it might look different than somebody else's half cup of cilantro. My husband's going to look at my half cup of cilantro and be like, do I get to eat that? And I'm going to say, nope, you can leave me with my pears and mango and cilantro if you don't want it. Hey, he's getting supper. That's good, right? Okay. So I'm just going to chop up that cilantro a little bit in there first before I throw anything else in. That smells good too. Now that I'm looking at it all chopped up, I'm like, man, that doesn't look so much at all. It's like my taste buds are disappointed already, but it is what it is, so we're going with it. Because the thing is, game day decision, if I want more cilantro, I can always have more cilantro. I've got more, I can add more to it. And this mango actually feels like literally perfectly ripe, which is nice. Northern climates, you never know what you're gonna get, right? Like, we're kind of at the mercy of whatever arrives here and whatever state it's in. So whether you're getting a nice mango or like a super green mango that is just never going to ripen and will be forever miserable, sometimes you just don't know. Okay, so there's mango. And I'm gonna chew the rest off of this pear too. Can't help it, I'm a fruit fiend, love it. Oh, I'm also gonna add some more of this lime juice. Well, about a couple tablespoons. Throw in some salt. Kind of making like a fruity salsa. So you're gonna have the sauce and the fruity salsa and some lettuce. And the combination of that is just going to be, honestly, delicious. And I like this meal because you can prep all the components ahead. It's nice, it's healthy. Being able to prep ahead is, of course, always a wonderful benefit. Here we go. Salsa is ready to go for our cool and crispy chicken nachos. Now I want nachos. Great. Well, you know what's on the meal plan next week. Surprise. Okay. Now we're gonna get some sauce ready to go for our curry. Yes, we'll get the sauce ready to go for our curry. I want 4 tablespoons of curry paste. I like a curry that tastes like curry. I see so many recipes that use like the teенsiest, tiniest bit of curry paste, and for me they never have enough flavor. You know what? There's only just like a tiny little bit extra in that jar. We're just gonna put it all in there. Because I don't need like half a teaspoon of curry paste just hanging out in a jar. Okay, fine, it's probably closer to like an extra tablespoon, but a tablespoon of curry paste, what am I gonna do with that? I'm gonna leave it to rot in a jar. I know myself. I'm just gonna add it into this. It's all good. Okay. Want a tablespoon of fish sauce. Because this is all less stuff to do what we have, right? Goal is to be as prepped as possible. Oh, let's just let the air out of you. That is not the lid that goes on that jar at all. Like, why aren't you working? It doesn't belong there. That would be why. Some more cumin. And zest of half a lime, or you know what, whatever's left in there. That's good enough. Give that a little mix. And then that is going to be ready to go in our slow cooker curry, because what's the point of having a slow cooker meal if it takes you all this time to put it together, right? Like, that's the one thing that for slow cooker meals for me is I would look at it and be like, if I gotta take a whole bunch of time putting it together in the morning, that is just not worth my time and effort. So this is what we do. We prep. I'm just gonna fluff my rice. I'm just gonna double check my chicken, make sure it's all to temp. Oh yeah, we're good. We are good, good, good. Okay, awesome. Grabbing out a bowl to chop my chicken in. You know, no big thing. Bowl to chop my chicken. There we go. Okay, but I'm gonna wait and chop that. I'm just gonna let it cool off for just a hot minute in there. Maybe I'll put it in this bowl. Oops. There. Perfect. Sorry, got a hair on my arm. It's distracting. Now we're gonna grate up some pizza cheese. Okay? Get ourselves all ready for a good pizza night. Using a good cheese makes all the difference in the world. If you are lactose free, this Saputo, yeah. Their mozzarella cheese is really, really, really good. And you can notice the difference if you're using a decent cheese on your home pizza versus if you're using a crappy cheese on your home pizza. If you're going to have a home pizza night, make it taste as good or better than you're going to get somewhere else. And if you're gluten-free, learning how to have an at-home pizza night that is awesome is worth its weight in gold. Because pizza shops, unfortunately, are one of the places where you are most likely to find yourself getting glutened. There's so much flour in the air that even when they're doing best effort, like the odds of cross-contamination are they're just high. And I know pizza is a family favorite, but you can find the joy in it again, doing it at home, and it'll be better than a pizza that you're gonna buy out and about. Unless you have to find a completely gluten-free pizza place, which is awesome. You hit the gold mine. But, so this brand of cheese is one that the family has absolutely loved, so highly recommend it. Gonna put together some gluten-free pizza dough, okay? Made myself a bit of a mess here. Now, can you make gluten-free pizza dough without a stand mixer? Maybe. Honestly, if you're gluten-free, just invest in a stand mixer, because if you're going to make bread ever at home, if you're going to make pizza dough at home, eventually a good stand mixer will pay for itself. Sorry, but it's just one of those things that I feel like once you're gluten-free, you're probably going to need one. Gonna get myself some water, some warm water. So I want 2/3 of a cup. Then we're going to put the rest of the ingredients in here. So, throw in some oil. I like to put my oil in first. I find it kind of makes it so it doesn't get all stuck at the bottom. Some gluten-free all-purpose flour, the staples. I put potato starch in with mine as well. I find it gives it that. Potato starch makes it a little bit softer, I find. So you'll find that this recipe, if you use it, because you can certainly just buy yourself a pizza crust. You'll find that if you use it, it does actually reheat well, which not a lot of gluten-free crusts do. So we'll call that a bonus. Okay. Throw an egg in there. And some sugar, some yeast, some salt, and some water. So we're just going to turn it to mix, and I'm going to put it on 5 minutes and then let that do its thing. Okay, so I'm going to dice up this chicken. You can do it with a knife. I'm going to use what is called a salad chopper. It's basically kitchen shears that have 2 blades, and it does a phenomenal job at just chopping chicken. Also, if you want to use it for like pulled pork or something like that, you can certainly do that. You could use it for a salad. I haven't yet, but I'm sure it would do great. This is my meat choppers. But if you prefer, you can just dice your chicken with your fork and knife. Do it the good old-fashioned way. There we go. Chicken is chopped. I'm gonna put a lid on her because I don't want that puppy drying out. Now, the very last thing that we have to do in this whole thing is just to cube 3 chicken breasts, okay? And that is it, my friends. It has been a journey throwing this all together, but we are here. We are in the home stretch. We shall get it done, okay? So there are definitely shortcuts that you can take this week. Whether it's buying your pizza dough already done, so the pizza dough, I'm just going to wrap that in some saran wrap is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put it in the fridge. You can put it in a bowl if you want want to. It's going to be fine. It doesn't have to prove, it doesn't have to do any of the things. Like, it's just there to try to make things a little simpler for you. And that's it, guys. If you went with me all the way to the end, you did it. Your meals are going to come together effortlessly, so quickly. Thank you so much for being here with me. What time again? 47 seconds. Thank you so much for being here with me this week. I hope to see you next week, and I hope this week is absolutely delicious and easy. Focus on that easy feeling as you go through the week, as you earned it. Thank you. Bye-bye.